Hello everybody, it's Marialda here once again, and welcome back to another figure unboxing. Woohoo! I've done a bunch of little figures today. Now it's time for a big one. Yes, we've got a beautiful figure in front of us to unbox. And this is one that, honestly, I thought she was beautiful from the day she went up for order, but I was honestly going to pass. She was in my maybe list for a long time, and then eventually I finally took her out. But once delays happened and I was going to have just a order of basically little tiny Tamamo, I didn't want them to ship alone, so I ordered Rita to go with them, and I think I'll be happy with that decision. So yes, this is Rita Rosweiss, the farewell version of her, the Maid of Celestia version. I don't know. She's not allowed on MSC, which makes finding any definitive information about her a royal pain in the butt. AmiAmi says this is the farewell version. She is from Honkai Impact III, a Chinese game, and she is manufactured by MiHoYo, the author of the game, also a Chinese company, thus not allowed on MFC. I believe she's also, Apex had a hand in her manufacture. Again, another Chinese company, but Apex made the Yae Sakura figure, and I really love her. So I think this is going to be a great figure. Anyways, she is listed as a 1/8 scale figure, but she is a large 1/8. A lot of people would say 1/7, but we will see when we get her out. She released sometime in December of 2020. Again, who knows? I wound up ordering her on January 19th of 2021 from AmiAmi. I paid 15,400 yen for her, or $152.93. So a little on the pricey side. She shipped out on the 5th of February, and I got her today on the 8th. DHL shipping was actually reasonable. It was only like $30-some instead of $100. So yay. So yeah, that is the box of Rita. You get some good views of her. There is the top of her box and plain boring bottom. So let's actually get her open. So we've got the standard 3 seals. And of course you can't open the box without totally destroying the flap. Pull her out. We've got some information, books and stuff. Inside of the box is plain boring white. It's got the rose little figure icon down there. Rita Rosweiss 1/8 scale painted figure. Put the box off to the side. We've got her instruction booklet, which shows peg her onto the base, put her umbrella together, and put her umbrella in her hands. Woohoo. I think we can figure this out. So there is also a little bonus item, which is taped to the blister and wasn't secured very well inside of its baggie. So we've got a little acrylic stand of Rita. Let's just go ahead and set this off to the side for the moment and put the blister up on the turntable. There she is. Let's get this stand together. So the base actually stayed in its container, or plastic baggie. The big part ripped right out. So there we go. I'm just looking. It does look like there's probably a little plastic film on it. It's hard when you don't have like a tab that you can pull, but I'm reasonably certain there is a plastic film. I'm not going to spend the time to undo it to get it off, especially in case there's not. But there is the little acrylic standee of her. We'll just get it together. Some people said it was supposed to be the same pose, but I don't think it's the same. It's slightly different. But yeah, it is a nice little bonus though. So there is Rita in her blister packaging. There she is from the side. And the back, you've got a separate blister for the umbrella. Throw this off to the side. And there is the other side and back to the front. So let's get this secondary blister open. Or at the very least detached. And it opens relatively easily. Over here we've got a little piece of plastic foil kind of stuck to the thing with static, holding the stick for the umbrella. And then we've got the little tassel that hangs down from one of the umbrella spines or whatever. Come on, you can do it. So we'll put that there and we'll look at it in a second. And then we've got the main part of the umbrella. Just set it down for now. Look at it in a second. So, pretty well detailed. It's a beige color with like tan trimmings and a nice little rose pattern. Inside is very detailed. This does actually look like wooden rods, wooden sticks, even though it's plastic. And you got all the spines and everything painted reasonably well. Depending on the angle you look at it, like if you look at it from this angle, some of the wooden spines looks like the paint went over them, but you could say maybe that's fabric wrapping around. I don't know. There is the little jewel that hangs off of it, and it doesn't peg on solidly, it just hangs over one of the things, so you got to be careful with this piece not to lose it. It's got a tassel hanging off of it. It's a nice dark, like wine red color with little gold trimmings. And then you got the stick, which is basically a stick. It actually feels like it's made out of metal, painted metal, because it doesn't flex at all. I'm not going to put super tight pressure on it, and that's another thing. Yes, it is metal. So that's a plus. Let's get the main attraction out of the blister though. So there's tape there. And over here, more tape. And we'll pop the blister open. Put that onto the side. Punch my light. And we'll pull out her base first. So it is plastic, of course, but it is made to resemble cobblestone. It's got a nice metal peg, pretty solid it looks like. On the bottom, MiHoYo, all rights reserved, made in China, Apex Innovation. So yes, Apex definitely had a hand in making her. The stones have looks like some shading on them. It's hard to tell with the lighting and everything, but they look pretty good. Obviously, they do look plastic, but they look pretty good at least. And then we've got Rita herself. So she comes out. She's not like plasticed in or anything. So there's plastic around her twin tails, around her ribbons, around this little tassel. And then between her hair and shoulders are another piece with bubble wrap inside of the bag. And that looks like all the plastic. I will set her down. She is relatively light. Sometimes the figures are very heavy. She is definitely a light girl. Let's go ahead and bring this closer, maybe a little bit. So there she is. And if we look, she can stand on her own. Again, I will never ever display her like that. I will definitely use her base because I have wobbly floors. But it is possible for her to stand on her own. Again, like I said, Never ever display her like this. Let's go ahead and get her on the base so that I can get the camera out and do some close-ups without fear of her falling over. So she goes on that far pretty easily, but she is still kind of loose. So I'm going to just apply a little bit more pressure on the solid table. And she's on nice and tight now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the camera out of the stand. And let's get some close-ups. So there is her face. Cute little face, hiding one eye with her bangs. Got a nice flower in her hair. A little sly smile. You can see some teeth inside of her mouth. She's got some red earrings. Well, I mean gold with red. Kind of like her umbrella tassel. Kind of like that. With white tassels hanging down. Just curious. Yes, she does have a second eye, but you will probably never ever see it. It is painted. Nice and detailed. She's got quite the bust on her. Nice cleavage. Very nice cleavage. And does appear to have separation. And we can see the top, that like brownish part of her dress, that is translucent, it looks like. So you can see more of her cleavage in there. From this angle, we do kind of see a little flaw in there, maybe. But it could just be, you know, the boob separating. Good detail on her bust line. I'm just going to set this out of the way. Like her clothing, the gold paint, gold edges, done very well. The pad printing is done very well. We've got her little balled up fist. And her other hand, again, kind of a little balled up fist. But we do see her fingers are molded separately from the palm. Got a nice little belly button navel cutout window. And again, the little rose design on her, I guess we'll call it a skirt flap or whatever. It's kind of a Chinese dress. She has quite the hips on her. She's got a little bangle hanging off of her hip as well. And she's got kind of a clear skirt on as well. And we can kind of see in there her panty line. Very thick thighs, nice long luscious legs. The black tights are very stretched out, so you can see like around her knees it's darker, around her thighs it is, you know, stretched out so it's lighter, like her flesh is peeking through. Good details on her shoes. I mean, simple pumps. High heels, but nice white color. You got more of that wine red color for her heels. You got the gold around her ankles. Got a little ribbon around her shoulders, which goes to a transparent red up to a frosted white. She is wearing a nice necklace. And I saw a little review. It is not attached, so it moves around. Spin around to the back. Good shading in her hair. The main part of her hair is short, but she does have two very long twin tails flowing in the breeze. You can see the frosted ribbon again, covering her spine line. Again, there's a back cutout, and there is another cutout for her butt cleavage. Nice little wine red details, the little bows and another jewel and everything. Again, her hips, and on the back flap, it's got the rose pattern again, and a little hole at the bottom. And there's the back of her heels. Let's go ahead and put you guys back in the stand now. And let's see if I can pop her off again, because we got to answer the important question. Important question. The answer is white with gold edges. And sometimes these flaps would be like made of a rubber material, so you could lift them up, but hers is hard plastic. You'll snap it off if you try to lift it up. But she's got the booty. You can see the booty cheeks peeking. Much more pronounced on this side. And like I said, white. It's got a dark line down the center. Not really a camel toe, which, again, in my opinion, is a good thing. I'm not the biggest fan of those. Good armpit with her bust line and everything. So overall, yes, she has done very well. Top of her head, you got the seam line, and it's kind of flat. Nothing super exciting. With the lights, I can see kind of a texture on her hair. But it's not going to show up normally. You just got the bright lights. And like I said, you got a butt crack cleavage window. So let's go ahead and put her back on the base. Sorry for doing it off camera, but I want to do it on the solid table. And let's get her completely assembled. Push her back a minute. So it should be nice and simple. You put the metal rod for the umbrella through the hole. And the hole on the top is a little tight, so it fits on, so it's definitely not going to fall off. It spins nice and easily. And then the umbrella just slides through her hand. Let me look at the instructions just to see real quick. Okay, it doesn't look like it goes through her hair. That was the only thing I wanted to check. Actually, a fairly tight fit. So we'll put it on like that. And then, like I said, this just kind of hangs off one of the little supports. So yeah, she is a pretty large figure. I would say definitely more than a 1/8, but MiHoYo and Apex, their scales are a little bit off. They're off on the big side, which in my opinion is a good thing. Get more figure for your money. But we'll do a spin around of Rita like this. Yep, looks pretty dang good. I don't see any flaws. The paint is nice and crisp and clean. Doesn't look like it's bleeding over the edges anywhere. The hair could be a little bit more detailed up at the top, but your eyes are going to be drawn somewhere else, of course. And she looks pretty dang good. I'm very happy with her. Definitely worth the money. And she's got that little coy expression. I just noticed this. I've never noticed it before. If we can bring her closer and you look under her eye, she does have a little moe mark. Yes, little beauty mark. Moe point. It just looks very cute and happy. Kind of like a more mature look to her. Adult, you know, kind of seductive. So we'll go ahead and put her back up here. Got a new tripod, so it's adjusting it's a little bit tough. Bring her a little closer, get a spin around a little closer of her top half. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the umbrella off again. I wouldn't recommend taking this in and out of her hands very often because, like I said, it is a very tight fit. But we'll do a spin around of her like this, a little bit closer. Yeah, I think she just looks really dang good. Kind of a little monotone, but you do have the little points of interest with the red bows and ribbons and everything. Looks real good. And I don't really notice like some figures have a reddish or yellowish tinge to their skin. She does not have that. Let's tilt this down. Do a spin around of the lower part of her body. Yeah, looks very beautiful. Like I said, I wasn't planning on buying her. I've always thought she was beautiful, but I wasn't planning on buying her. But everything just worked out. That said, bring her home. Let's go ahead and put the umbrella back in and we'll end this video. We'll just have this hang nothing in here this time. So this is Rita Rosswhite. Rita Rosswise. The farewell version of her, the Maid of Celestia version of her, who knows? She's not allowed on MC, so it's very hard to find accurate information about her. Ami said this is the farewell version. She is from Honkai Impact III. She's a 1/8 scale figure manufactured by MiHoYo and Apex Innovation. Not exactly sure how it all works out, but anyways, she released sometime in December of 2020. I ordered her on the 19th of January 2021 from Ami. She is fairly expensive at 15,400 yen or $152.93. She shipped out on the 5th of February and got here today on the 8th. And I am quite happy with her. She also came with a little acrylic stand. We'll set it over there, push her back, tilt the camera down. There we go. So yes, little bonus item inside the box. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. She's a beautiful figure. I'm out. See you next time. Bye-bye.